Good morning, everyone. It's Libby from Ousted Tarot, and thank you for joining me. I'd like to acknowledge our First Nations Warramai people, and I'd like to welcome all our guides, mine and yours. Okay, no bug swallowing today, and I have a glass of water handy just in case. I've got a few pot plants, and it's that time of year where we get the little tiny black bugs if we don't let them dry out enough. So, needless to say, I need to let my pot plants dry out. Okay, what are we going to have a look at today? Again, not terribly much happening in the news unless it's actually happening to you. News came through that Trump's taxes are going to be released. I'll read on that for 2 seconds with the pendant because I don't think they're relevant anymore. If it tells me anything different, I'll read further. I want to have a look at the Pakistani floods. They are having horrific flooding caused both by torrential rain and also glacier ice melting and coming down the river systems. And if you haven't caught it, in New Mexico, a judge has just ruled that, oh boy, I'm trying to pronounce his first name, Couy, Coy Griffin, a county commissioner, is to be removed from his office, pack up your office and get out, due to being part of the January 6th rioting. And I want to have a quick look, if we get time, to see whether more GOP representatives will lose their position and whether more House representatives, House and Senate, after the midterm elections will lose their positions as well, if we get time. So hopefully this first little segment, excuse me if I've got a bit of a cough, it's, as you can see, I'm in a singlet today. It was yesterday polar fleece jumper or at various stages, and today it's singlet. It's just absolutely, the weather's welcome to spring in Australia. Okay, let's have a look. Have a look. Just use the pendant to just ask about Trump's taxes because it's not particularly exciting at this stage. Just wind it up a little bit further. Make it a bit shorter. Okay. May I ask a question? Good morning. May I ask a question? May I ask a question? You ready for me to ask a question? That's a circle, so that's a yes. Are we going to learn anything more from Trump's taxes? The release of Trump's taxes? Are we going to learn anything more from? Yeah, well, that's a very definite no. Side to side. Are we going to learn anything more from the release of Trump's taxes? And that's a big no, so I won't go any further with that. There's nothing new, really, that the State Department of New York's not going to find out. There's really nothing new to be learnt, so we'll leave it at that. It's not going to prove anything. Okay, let's have a look at the Pakistani floods. Now, one of their major dams, lakes, Manchar Lake, is apparently dangerously over full. There has been 2 controlled breaches of the lake to try and release some water. And there has been 1 uncontrolled breach of the lake. Apparently, these breachings have displaced about 100,000 people. 1,300 plus people have been killed in the floods in the last few weeks. 250,000 people in Pakistan are in shelters at the moment, and 33 million people have been affected in some way by the floods. Now, these figures are just astounding. 33 million is more than the entire population, significantly more than the entire population of Australia. It is due to torrential rain and, as I said, the melting glaciers. Pakistan produces only about 1% of the greenhouse gases, but this flooding is very much caused by climate change, caused by carbon emissions in manufacturing countries, China, the US, Australia. We're not innocent. I mean, we on a global scale we don't produce a lot, but per capita, I think we're only second to the US per capita. So Australia really needs to pull its fingers out as well. If you can hear that noise in the background, it's the washing machine going. Beautiful day outside. Take advantage of it. Might get that. I might just close that door. Hang on a sec. Sorry about that. Don't need to hear my washing spinning around. Okay, let's have a look. Pakistan. How's it going to go with this? With the floods, because it's a mountainous area, it very much captures the moisture, the prevailing clouds, which is good in some ways, but what's happening is it's catching massively excessive rain. It's cropping areas are flooding, which means it's going to have food shortages. Tell me about Pakistan, please. Tell me about Pakistan. Pakistan with the flooding. How's it going to cope? Pakistan with the flooding. Using my Lightseers Tarot, which was my family and friends and Mother Earth cards. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, interesting card is the signifier card, the Ace of Pentacles. Very much drawn to the, this is about the health of Mother Earth, is the signifier card. Drawn to the leaves sprouting out the top and the roots out of the bottom. It is very much about the health of Mother Earth, and that we need to take notice, and that we are being given an opportunity for a new start in regards to this. Challenged by strength. Inner compassion, but also the strength of overcoming adversity, the strength of moving forward, the subconscious coming into consciousness. Okay, right, thank you. As more of these sort of events occur, there can be no longer ignoring of it. The naysayers are in a significant minority. They're very noisy, but the people that can realise what's happening, I mean, scientists have been warning us about this since the 1960s. So what are we looking at? Over half a century, but it can no longer be ignored. And do not underestimate the strength of Mother Earth to heal. Base of the reading is the government, so direction needs to come from government, lawmakers, legal systems, etc. This is a card full of joy and hope. I find this card extremely hopeful. This is about greater, higher learning as well. But there is hope. We just need to climb these stairs. We need to actually take the action. In the past, Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help, and I think we're going to have to do that in the future. So Pakistan is going to need a lot of help. Star of Hope, 3 major arcana is the through line. Don't give up hope. Hope overcomes everything. If you haven't seen it, I think it was about episode 5 on The Sandman, which is on Netflix if you ever get to watch it. He was battling the devil, and she was winning because they had to name something that would destroy the universe, and she was up to despair, and he counteracted with the word hope, and he won the battle. So the battle is never lost whenever there is hope. Queen of Swords. It's about the feminine energy coming forward in logic and wisdom and nurturing of the realm, overseeing the realm. Makes it sound like something out of Game of Thrones, but it's about overseeing what is best for the people and caring for the people in a wise and intellectual, intelligent way. Externally, Knight of Wands, a lot of information coming forward very quickly. Plan, passion. These are not bad cards for Pakistan, so I'm quite pleased about that. I think this is going to ease. Externally, the message is getting out and people are taking notice and the drum is being banged. Internally, it's all about the community and the families and the people themselves. It's emotionally very difficult, quite emotionally overwhelming, as you can imagine, but there is light at the end of this rainbow, and it is the ending of a cycle. Hopes and fears, we have another ace. So we had the Ace of Pentacles here, the Ace of Cups here. So this is very much about a new emotional beginning. So we've got the new healing beginning and the new emotional beginning of coming together and doing what is right for everybody and every creature and everything. It's about immersing in love. Six of Cups, wishing about the past, wanting to go back to a simpler time. I think this is more than about Pakistan. Okay, Five of Swords, which is about it's about lies and deceit. But in this particular deck, what I see is it's about the lies we tell ourselves. This is very much a mental anguish card. It's the lies we tell ourselves, and I'm always drawn to this figure in the light here, seeing the light. Eight of Pentacles. Choices. We are at the stage where we have a choice to make. Sitting with our candle in the dark, and all these choices are in the light. So it is about what choices we make moving forward, coming together in partnerships for the betterment of each other, breaking down of old systems to rebuild new. Now this, even though it's a Tower card, it's quite a beautiful card because you have this breaking down of the structure on top. You have the butterflies flying away, the squirrel at the base, just looking on to see what's happening. It is a card of destruction, but it's a card of breaking down what is not serving you, of old systems that are obsolete, and rebuilding new. A plan looking forward on the world stage, and a plan coming to fruition. A plan of practicality, of security, of nurturing, and I'm again my attention's brought to this particular queen wearing her crown of Mother Earth. Okay, on the base it's Page of Wands. This is the energies of the here and now. So these are not bad cards for Pakistan. I'll have a little bit of a further look in regards to that, but on the base this is the energies of the here and now. We have the Page of Wands, which is about the youth coming forward with energy and plans and passion and new messages and joy of what is possible. They have to overcome this old system of what's in it for me, obstacle. This is obstacles and challenges, but it's also about partisan, as in everybody here is fighting everybody else to gain whatever the prize is. Nobody's helping each other. So this is the energy they have to overcome. There will be this, so here's the line of strength from here previously. The King of Wands, he is a very inspirational leader who is lighting this path forward. So watch for these leaders, the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands. So I'm not, yes, it is bad there, and there have been deaths which are always ghastly, but I'm not seeing it horrific for Pakistan. I think it's just one more wake-up call. Is this one more wake-up call? Let's have a quick look. Oops. It's a long chain, so I just like to hold it rather than let it dangle. Are the floods in Pakistan just another wake-up call for humanity? I won't say just. Are the floods in Pakistan another wake-up call for humanity? Yet another wake-up call for humanity. It's a little yes. Are the floods in Pakistan another wake-up call for humanity? Yeah, very much so. This is the year of wake-up calls. Fires, drought, flood, heat waves can't be ignored any longer. Okay, will Pakistan be okay? I'll just ask, will Pakistan be okay? 1,500 or plus already killed. It was 1,300 already killed. 1,500, yeah, okay. It's going to rise. That wasn't a Freudian slip. It is going to rise. I don't know the population of Pakistan. I imagine if 33 million are affected, it's quite a large population as a percentage. But is Pakistan going to be okay? Is Pakistan going to be okay? Tell me about Pakistan. Is Pakistan going to be okay with this flooding? Pakistan going to be okay? Oh, that card does not want to go in, so we'll have a look and see what it is. Okay, interesting. 2 cards it gave me. Circles of support working together. Walking away from what no longer serves. Walking towards the light. So, yeah, it's going to be okay. It's going to pull together. And the world is going to help too. I'm getting India. I keep getting India in my mind. I don't know if India is having similar situations, but I'm getting that India is going to help. Now, India and Pakistan have been at war over the disputed territories of Kashmir for as long as I can remember, and I've been alive for a little while here. Decades and decades and decades they've been at war over this particular strip of land of Kashmir. I think what's going to happen is that they're actually going to India's going to assist and help, and it's going to help relations between the two countries, and this is walking towards this new future, this new horizon. There will be a lot of anxiety in regards to this mental anxiety. This is the 8 of Swords, which is normally the person standing in the Ring of Swords with their hands loosely bound and their blindfold over their eyes that they can remove. They're going to find themselves restricted, but it is a self-restriction. If you have a look, the woman is not restricted at all, but she's looking into this mirror where she is. So it is a self-inflicted restriction. So I think what's going to happen is help is going to be offered, and they have to overcome their own self-restrictions, their mental restrictions to accept that offer. So what I'm getting is this is from India, this is Pakistan going to have to overcome its historical phobias, its historical paranoia and feeling of threat and etc. And it will accept the help, as we have disappointment with the harvest, reaping what you sow. So it is up to the people of Pakistan as to whether they're open to this offer, to this help that is genuinely being offered with the heart. But we have temperance, a rebalancing, so a return to moderation. And then the King of Swords. So again, overseeing the realm, but nurturing for nature with wisdom and intelligence. So I'm thinking that the offers are going to come. Now that I've said India, it's not hammering in my head anymore, so I think there's going to be offers come from India, this support that is no strings attached. It is a coming together through love of a neighbour helping their community, and Pakistan needs to be open to it. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay, I'm interested to, I'll keep an eye on that. I don't see it being more horrific for India, Pakistan. It is going to be difficult, but okay, are the rains going to ease? I'll just have a quick look. Are the rains going to ease for Pakistan? They have been in their monsoon season. It started early, I think it went longer, which means everything is saturated. Will the rains ease for Pakistan? Will the rains ease? Will they get a break? Will they get a break? Will the rains ease and they get a break? That's a yes. Okay. Right, on to New Mexico. Catch the flight over. I don't know how you pronounce it, Couy, I'm sure I've got it wrong. Couy Griffin was elected county commissioner in New Mexico for District 2, I believe. He was brought to trial, not too sure by whom. I think it was just the Liberal left, to have him removed from his position due to his involvement in the January 6th riots. Apparently also in the recent elections in his particular district, he refused to verify the results. Obviously they didn't go the way he wanted. So he's been removed from his position. I don't know whether they'll have an election. There's an whether they get voted in the midterms. I didn't look into it too much. But it is setting a precedence, which I found really interesting. So the precedence has now been set. I don't know why I picked up the Golden Universal Tarot, probably because there's always money involved in regards to this. Do apologise if they're a little bit shiny, even though I'm not sitting in the sun. Okay. Are there going to be more GOP positions lost? Are there going to be more GOP positions lost? Could use the pendulum for this, but let's have a look. Are they going to? This is a set of precedents. Are more elected GOP officials going to lose their positions? Are more elected GOP officials going to lose their positions? Are more elected GOP officials going to lose their positions? Those cards did not want to drop. Okay, let's have a look here. They did not want to go back in the pack, so I'll take them as two signifiers. The Magician, which is a yes card, and the 8 being a positive number is also a yes card. There's going to be some manifestation of amazing possibilities here. This is an extremely powerful card of being able to bring everything in the deck. This is the number 1. The Fool is the number 0, but this is the number 1, the first counting card. So he has everything at his disposal to bring forward, and this is about walking away from what is no longer serving you, walking towards what is. So let's keep going with this. For the sake of the voter, a lot of obstacles to overcome. There's going to be infighting in regards to this partisan squibbling, argy-bargy fighting, but the lawmakers are he's overlooking these squabbling teenagers. It's the only card in the deck that actually has teenagers in it. Everything else has either adults or children, and he's overlooking these unruly rat packs, pardon me, with not a lot of patience, with bare tolerance. the lawmakers. A lot of information going to come forward, and we're looking at doors closing and new doors opening. So I'm going to quite simply say yes, there are going to be more. It has set a precedence. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen. Just have a quick ask. Now I'm just talking about general positions here. These are county clerks. These are, I can't believe how many of these sorts of positions are actually elected positions, as if the voting public know whether they're qualified or not. Are more GOP officials going to lose their positions? Does this set a precedence, this New Mexico ruling? It's going in circles. Okay. More GOP. Yeah, now it's going back and forth. So the circles are telling me it's roundabout and going to take time, but yes, they are. So my next question, actually it wants me to move on to these cards. My next question is, after the midterms, will House and GOP House and Congress members lose their positions? Entertainment only, allegedly. We'll have a look. Now, I was right about Russia's closed its gas pipeline to Europe, and has said it's not reopening it. I read on that was going to happen. Liz Truss got in as PM. I mean, that was a bit of a no-brainer anyhow. But we'll see how that plays out for her, whether it becomes the poisoned candlestick or the flaming candlestick for her. But at the moment, will more GOP House and Senate representatives, GOP House and Senate representatives lose their jobs, lose their positions after the midterms? Let's get this question right, Libby. Will GOP House and Senate representatives lose their positions in 2023? Not an election year, so the only way they would lose them is if they've been found to be, what's that bottom one on the top? Found to be guilty of something. Oh, that's why the bottom one wanted to be on the top. The Emperor, the patriarchal, my way or the highway, my card for Trump. Challenged by, yeah. So what it's telling me, that those that have been obsessive Trump supporters are going to find themselves restricted. Page of Wands. There is some very important information going to be coming forward here that we're going to hear about. This is very clear. This Page of Wands is a very clear orator with his message. So there's going to be a very clear message come forward. In the past we have victory, but it's in the past. And it is a victory. He doesn't look too comfortable there with his victory during this victory parade. There's a lot of plots and plans circling around him there with those wands, a lot of messages circling around. And this is in the past. So I did ask about 2023. So there will be some that win in the past that are going to find themselves in this situation. Crowning the reading, sabotage, betrayal, walking away from this smug, odious creature in the front who's just stealing away with the truth. So that's really interesting. So I'm going to, even though they aren't yes cards necessarily, I'm going to say, yeah, there's going to be this walking away from these creatures. They're going to find that, so there will be some that will find themselves victorious, but they are going to be restricted and hemmed in. It'll be the Trumpster ones. It's restricted and hemmed in as people walk away from their just awfulness. a new beginning with passion and plans. And so this is telling me that the new government, which I have read multiple times, is going to be a Democrat positive House, Senate and President, so they'll actually be able to do things for the betterment of the people. Now, I'm not saying there isn't corruption and ghastliness in the Democratic Party either, but they will actually be able to rebuild infrastructure. Where was I reading? There's was it Las Vegas in New Mexico as well? So this is New Mexico again. Has basically run out of drinking water because they've had wildfires through there and then floods, which has pushed all the toxic ash and charcoal down into the drinking water, which, because the purification system is so old-fashioned and literally defunct on a world stage, it cannot process the water, or cannot process clean water, because by the process it does, it actually turns it into extremely toxic water. So the people have no drinking water, no showering water, no water to wash with or do anything with. So this is the immediate future, which is, I'm calling the midterms, is about a new beginning of passion and planning, where positive forward action can actually be made externally. Now, I was talking about, the question was, will GOP, Senate and House representatives lose their jobs in 2023? So it's not an election cycle, so there would be another reason for them losing their jobs. And externally, yes, this is it. Loss, disappointment. Internally, they're having to, they're defending them. They're trying to set up barriers. They're trying to defend themselves. Hopes and fears, another ace. The two aces side by side. The hope is that moving forward, the crown has been pierced, and the country is moving forward with truth and wisdom and serenity. Because looking at this figure, this spiritual figure with this holding this Ace of Swords, it's incredibly serene. The outcome, it's in the hands of the voter. There are this is about insecurity. It's also about playing your cards close to your chest, but it's also about there's not being as much money. There's not as much money. Oh gosh, I wish the US didn't spend so much on its military. Wouldn't it be nice? Imagine if that money could be spent elsewhere. The coffers have got money in them, but they're not overflowing coffers. I think the new corporation tax laws come in very shortly, if they're not in already. I know it passed as part of the infrastructure bill, I believe, or one of those bills, that there is a minimum corporate tax rate on takings, rather than being able to sort of send it overseas and write off for loss and pay no tax. And they're also looking at, the Democratic government are also looking at bringing that in for figures such as Bezos and Zuckerberg and Musk, etc., that they have to pay a minimum amount of tax on whatever their earnings are. They can't just write them off. Okay. This is about moving forward, health-wise and financially wise. Okay, thank you. Also telling me that the health of the US is not great. It's okay, but it's not great. But this is about moving forward, intergenerational, building a US for the next generation, and a return to balance and moderation instead of this extremism and joy of the sun. So yes, I do like that. Base of the pack, they are working hard behind the scenes to make it happen. Everything's getting dotted and crossed. This is the Wheel of Fortune, which is about the fortunes are changing. We are moving into a new time, but also the fortunes of these are going down, while the fortunes of those that are wanting to work for the American people are going up. and it is about wishing for things to be simpler, a simpler time when you could buy a house, when you could pay for the fuel for the car, when the kids got a good education guaranteed, just a simpler time. Okay, that will do me for today. So what I'm getting there is that yes, there will be some. I'm not looking at specifics. We'll play on that. We'll read on that as they come out. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. Love to you all. Thank you for joining me today. And it was actually quite a pleasant reading today. I was expecting with those topics to have some horrific news come out, but I was pretty pleased with all that. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for your spirit guides for joining us, and mine for being here, and love to you all. I shall see you next time. Bye bye.